Now on to our keynote speaker. You may know him as a 14-year NFL veteran, a member of the Hall of Fame, a Pro Bowler, or as the only person in professional sports history to play in a Super Bowl and the World Series.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Emerging Franchise Brands Podcast. I'm your host, Frank Fiume, here live at the IFA 2024 National Convention, and looking forward to interviewing some folks at this year's event. I am here with franchise legend Stan Friedman. Stan, how are you?
In my mind only, Frank.
I don't know about that. So I've known Stan for a long time. I know he's been on our show, but I saw him here at the IFA, and of course, I have to ask him a few questions here. So Stan, how many IFAs is this now for you?
Could be about 24, 25.
What makes this one a little different?
It's the next one.
All right, so, obviously the landscape of franchising is changing dramatically here in the last few years. Obviously we're seeing influx of private equity. And what do you think of some of the changes that you see on the horizon here since being on the show?
Tough to ask or answer that question when it's being asked by Frank Fiume, but I think that founder-driven brands disappearing into the fabric of roll-ups is a major change, and culturally, I worry about what the impact of that looks like years from now, the same way I do what the impact of COVID and segregation look like from working at home for Gen Z, that don't get the impact of connectivity.
I am here with Katie Bossy from Listen 360, my dear friend. How are you?
I'm wonderful, Frank. How are you?
Doing great to see you, Katie.
You too.
All right, so Listen 360.
Yes, sir.
Great company.
Thank
Why don't you
you.
tell everybody what Listen 360 is, what you guys do, how are you different?
I would love to, yes. So Listen 360 is a customer experience platform. We help brands gather feedback from consumers to really, truly understand the customer experience and what it will take to drive loyalty. That loyalty leads to a beautiful online reputation, and we help with online reputation management as well.
How many IFAs now has this been for you?
Oh my gosh, I think it's probably number 7, number 8.
Wow.
I know.
That's great.
It
Okay.
gets better every year.
What are you hoping to get out of this year's IFA?
Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, I'm so excited to see all my wonderful friends in franchising. So exciting. And really just to learn more about what is most relevant to franchisors today. I feel like there's a lot of content about AI, which is a new mechanism for us at Listen 360, but also broadly very interesting, I think, to brands now. So I'm excited to learn more and just to really stay in the forefront.
I am here with my good friend and co-founder of College Hunks, Omar Solomon. Omar, how are you?
I'm doing great, man. It's great to see you and great to be here at IFA.
Great to see you. Omar, huge award for you and Nick this year, Entrepreneur of the Year.
Yes.
Come on, man, how did it feel?
It really felt awesome. We started coming to IFA 20 years ago, and it seemed like such a far-fetched thing to even be successful in franchising, and then to be recognized with the Entrepreneur of the Year was a just truly awesome experience. We were able to bring our kids up there, and they enjoyed it. And then we listened to Deion Sanders as the keynote, which I found to be awesome as well. He had some great wisdom about coaching and developing people and just mindset, which I got a lot of takeaway from.
So it ain't nothing nobody can say to cause me and provoke me to lose focus. Because my rally is right there. And I see it every single day. Saying that you can do it, ain't nothing you can write, ain't nothing you can say. What's your rally? Right there, you should be clapping because that's some good stuff I do.
I love Deion's keynote also.
Great.
He was really funny. I loved his analogy about what is your rabbit, and he was referring to that mechanical rabbit in the dog track, and that we're all striving for something. What was your rabbit?
it's a great question, and I love that part too. I had my kids around me, so I looked at each one of them and said, you guys are my white rabbit. And Dion said his mom was his white rabbit, and being able to provide for her and not have her work anymore was a big motivator for him. But I think beyond my kids, it's another thing Dion said was being able to bless other people, and being able to help others, and that was for me a big takeaway, because I think on top of my kids, really franchising about helping people achieve their dreams, helping people achieve financial freedom, and that is also my white rabbit.
I am here with Ryan Thurber from Design Pickle. Ryan, how are you?
Good. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. So tell me, what brings you to the IFA this year?
Yeah, Design Pickle, what we do is we're on-demand design, flat rate. We work with franchises, franchisors, all different types of companies, all different types of industries across the board, strictly for design across the board. Absolutely everything you can think of.
Okay, the name Design Pickle. I got to know the origin of this.
Yes. Our founder actually came up with it, and would you guess? Because he was in a design pickle himself. Having an issue finding any specific type of design work, he was having issues with that at the time, and he ended up obviously coming up with the name, drew the pickle, and loved the little mascot, and he has been there for probably 10 years now.
I am super excited to have Matt Kowski, the new brand president of I9 Sports. Matt, how are you?
I'm doing great. I feel a little pressure sitting here with the founder, but yeah, no, I'm doing great. Thank you.
Oh my goodness, the torch has been passed from Brian to you.
Yeah.
But I know you're ready, man. I know you're going to do it. You do well. You've been with the company a while.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Big shoes to fill, no question. Brian's been amazing, but yeah, he's set me up for success, and I'm excited to get going.
Well, I know you're going to do great. Former with Soccer Shots, so I know it was a great training ground, and understand the youth environment, and now being part of Youth Enrichment Brands. I mean, I9's been part of YEB now since late 2021. They have so many exciting things going on right now, right? I mean, they acquired School of Rock, and tell me, what else do you think is so exciting about YEB right now?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, being in that platform with brands like School of Rock, Streamline Brands, US Sports Camps, I mean, just a lot of like-minded businesses that all have the same common mission, same impact, and the resources that are available have been huge. If we don't have the answer, they do, and vice versa. So it's been really nice to just work it out together as a platform and sort through those things. And we really do work as a platform together. It's been great.
I am here with Ford Sakes. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing great too. So Ford, what brings you to the IFA this year?
Well, I love helping franchisees maximize local marketing and boost sales. And I'm one of the only keynote speakers that's in the Hall of Fame at IFA. So I'm here because I love helping with franchise brands and also supplier members like you guys. So I'm here for exposure and to add value.
That's awesome. All right, well, the folks who I mostly talk to in my podcast are founders of emerging franchise brands.
Got it.
So why don't you tell me a little bit about when you work with these guys and gals, what are some of the biggest challenges they face?
So for emerging franchise brand, how many units would you say?
I'd say greater than 5, under 25.
Okay,
and
so like that 25 is that sweet spot, right? Because you've got, once they make 25, then it's 50 and 100. So those emerging brands are really struggling to duplicate their systems and to find new franchisees. And in the beginning, those emerging brands don't really vet their franchisees as much as they should. So one of the challenges they have is they want anybody who has a paycheck and can pay for the franchise brand, but then they end up getting franchisees that aren't successful. And it hurts their growth. So emerging franchise brands can really value from being at, listening to your podcast, because you bring experts in that help them solve their biggest challenges, which are leadership, staffing, supply chain, managing their local marketing. And most important for emerging brands is building systems that are duplicatable so their franchise brands work. Like, for example, I'll be speaking for Anytime Fitness. And 15 years ago when that brand first emerged, they were sending their franchisees paint cans and saying, paint your room purple. Well, if you look at how big they are now, it's changed. So I know it's a long road to a tiny house, but that's why I'm here.
I'm with Jesse Kaiser from Kaiser Enterprises. Jesse, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Doing great. Great to see you again. Jesse was on the podcast not that long ago.
Yeah. We got a lot of great feedback on the podcast. Good questions. People like the questions you asked.
Well, I had a great guest.
Oh, well, thanks.
So, Jesse, you're going to be you're part of the multi-unit franchise conference that's actually coming up next month, right, in Vegas?
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about it.
Yeah, I'm very honored. I'm the chair of this year's conference. It's March 19th through the 22nd in Las Vegas. Multi-unitfranchiseconference.com.
Who would be a great attendee, first time for this multi-unit franchise conference.
So this is the largest franchisee conference that there is. There's other conferences like the IFA, which is more heavily franchisor, and then there's like franchise expos, which are the tire kickers and the emerging, like I'm thinking about becoming a franchisee. This is, you already got a signed FDD, you got one location, you got many locations open. The spirit of it is that you want to run your locations more efficiently and hopefully have more locations and sometimes even more brands. I've picked up 2 brands at this conference.
Wow. Jesse, what are you hoping to get out of this year's IFA?
This year's IFA, just some new ideas. You know, I really liked Deion Sanders yesterday, and so we always have our manager and area manager meetings where we just celebrate our wins, right? If there's an issue, I need to know about it right away. We fix issues. So when we have our weekly scheduled meetings, hopefully there's no issues because we've already addressed them. So it's our time to celebrate and have wins. But he came up with, dotting the I's, crossing the T's. So we're going to have a new segment in our manager meetings where we're dotting the I's, crossing the T's, and we're talking about what we cleaned up and fixed. So not only was it a win, but, like I had this problem, here's how I fixed it.
I am here with Will Morgan from Site Zeus. How are you?
Doing well.
Awesome. Thanks for joining me. So tell me, what is Site Zeus and what do you guys do?
Yeah, Site Zeus, we primarily specialize in location intelligence, really helping brands grow is really our bread and butter. But at the end of the day, we've kind of broken out to really be that all-encompassing solution for emerging and enterprise brands, where we have got like the franchise CRM to actually help get the franchise leads in a timely manner, the location intelligence portion of really being able to identify like where should we be going in the next states, how many can we really fit in that market, and also the prioritization of like which ones should they be opening first as their flagship in those new markets. And then once they've identified a location, actually helping with the development of the structure, getting it from start to finish, whether it be from executing that LOI all the way through that opening day. And then some pretty creepy but very valuable marketing functionality where we can consume the loyalty data or use mobile data to better segment, understand what people are talking about online, on social media, really get a full understanding of who your customers are and try to get more of them by targeting lookalike audiences in those specific markets or nationally. You can do the same thing to competitors as you're entering that new market, geofence their locations, understand where their customers are coming from, and track them back to their homes, look at their social media and internet activity to really understand who they are and how can you get more of them. And then the last piece is then kind of taking a little bit more to the operation side and doing some royalty collections, compliance, and tracking a bit more of that regard as well. So really that full life cycle of any growing brand.
I have Kevin Brandt from Scooters Coffee and legendary I9 Sports teammate of mine from back in the day. Kevin, how are you?
I'm doing great. It is amazing to see you. It truly is. This is going to be fun.
Great. It's been 5 years since we saw each other last. You were such a huge part of the growth of I9. I say you were part of the rocket ship that was taking off. You started up with me back in 2005. You've done some great things though with Scooters Coffee, and I want to talk about Scooters because the company's absolutely exploded. So first of all, we know there's a lot of coffee concepts out there. What's different about Scooters?
So it's truly, believing in amazing people, serving amazing drinks and doing it amazingly fast and staying true to who we are. But our biggest differentiator from our competition has always been speed of service and delivering on 25 to 30 second window times. So that speed of service is something that has been paramount within our business model. And I will even go on to say 5 years ago, that speed of service was 40 to 45 seconds. So when you look at innovation and how far we have come just in 5 years. So we are at a 20 to 25 second window time, which is, again, biggest differentiator, although there is so much more behind the business and the opportunity.
So obviously, conceptually, there must be something in the process, right? It's all about the process, right? On how they're able to systematize to get it such a tight time frame.
I always go back to, and not to do a long-winded answer here, but follow the formula to success. That may sound familiar. But it is an organization and a system that's been around for 26 years in April. So I like to say we've had a good running start to perfect our craft. And while I use the word perfected, there is still room for opportunities. So I think it's really being appreciative and thankful for those. And I got to say Don Eccles, the founder of the company, for putting together a model that has lasted where it is today, but just staying true with a focus and an emphasis on speed of service. It is the forefront of what we do.
I am pleased to have Justin Hovler from YEB, the CEO. Justin, how are you?
I'm doing great. Great to be here. Congrats on this new venture. Yeah, great to be talking with you.
Well, it's super exciting. This is the first time we've actually met. I know we talked on the phone, I think, when YEB first acquired I-9, and you guys are doing some great things at YEB and the recent purchase of School of Rock. Tell me about what's going on at YEB.
Exciting times for sure. Yeah, School of Rock joined us last September, Streamline Brands in June of 22, but this whole thing got started with I-9 Sports. When was that? That was October of 21. Yeah. So time is flying. And it's just been an awesome journey here, kind of integrating these best-in-class brands and learning and growing and developing and bringing on amazing talent that you stewarded here, and then Brian Sanders, and yeah, I feel like a really lucky guy to be sitting in this seat with the amazing people and teams that we have and the growth that we've been fortunate enough to experience for the last few years. But as you know, you're only kind of as good as your next day. Right. So we keep pushing.
What are you hoping to get out of the IFA this year?
Well, it was a blast. We were up on stage earlier in the general session. Definitely the most people I've ever given a talk in front of, so that was fun. Surprisingly fun. Rob Price was fantastic as usual. He's been an incredible partner in a short amount of time. IFAs, it's my second IFA, so it's good seeing people that I saw last year, and had a great dinner last night with some colleagues and met some new people, and so all the obvious networking opportunities, and great to see our team here too. We got representatives from Streamline Brands and I-9 and School of Rock and US Sports and YEB, so it's a good way for us to connect and spend some quality time.
I am here with Jason Sunday from Purple Penguin. How are you, Jason?
I'm doing great. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
So tell us about Purple Penguin, what you guys do, what makes you different.
We're Purple Penguin Digital. We're a digital marketing company. I know there's as many digital marketing companies in the IFA space as there are, Southern Baptist churches in the South. But there's a lot of franchisees, so there's a lot of fish in the sea. We basically work with the franchisees at a local level to help them develop strategies. We work with the franchisors and partner with them. What works in New Hampshire might not work in California, so we try to take a hands-on approach with each franchisee to work with their local area and their demographic.
That's awesome. I talk to emerging franchise founders often, or people looking to get into franchising. So maybe a piece of advice that you give folks before they got into franchising, maybe a tip or a trick?
Make sure your FDDs are good. I would say also make sure you understand your brand book. Like, what are you trying to convey with your brand? Make sure your data assets are good, that your branding is where you want it, and how you're looking to portray yourself to the public. Like, how do you want to come across with your logos, your colors, and what you're trying to represent? So
that's awesome. I got to ask you about the shoes.
Yes, they've been a pretty big hit this show. I'm actually a little bit of an introvert, so I like to wear things a little bit louder so people come to me instead of me having to come to them.
Hence, we came to you.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, I have the founder and CEO of Delightry. I have Tushar Mishra. How are you?
I'm doing good, thank you.
All right, Tushar, we got a lot to talk about here.
Absolutely. So I just want to say I love franchising. That's why I'm here. Absolutely love it.
You guys have really taken to it.
Yes.
They've got Anthony. Maybe you can spin it around and take a look at their booth. So they have really embraced franchising a lot.
Absolutely.
So, all right, Tushar, with all seriousness, kind of.
Yeah.
Tell me, what is Delightry? Like, what do you guys do other than you effing love franchising?
So we're about 2 years old. We're trying to build really usable franchisee tech before we came into this industry, so I'm brand new in franchising, been here for 2 years. Before this, I had a software company, sold that, started this. Most of my previous customers were franchisees as well. And what we noticed was that franchisors were buying a lot of tech, but nobody was actually using it. So we met so many people who would buy an LMS, and then for the first 6 months, they just try to build it out, they do the onboarding. For the next 6 months, they roll it out, people hate it, and then it's done, right? So we just wanted to build tech which your team would actually use. So we build everything from location launcher, how we can help you launch new locations, to how you can share information with your employees and your owners. So in form of training, in form of SOPs, in form of documentation, marketing campaigns, communication, finally to do audits and inspection across location, right? All of it in a nice, tasteful way which your team would actually like to use and will use. So you don't pay us if nobody uses it.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So this is your first IFA, right?
This is my first IFA, yes.
What do you think so far?
It's amazing. I mean, we came here to learn. That's why you won't see our name out there. We just want to talk to as many people as possible, and I think we accomplished that with the little branding that we have going. And I'm learning a lot. I'm excited for tomorrow. I wish it was for a few more days and I could learn more. But it's amazing to meet all the people who've been here for 20, 25 years and learn from them and share my perspective with them. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm already looking forward to the next one. So
yeah. And as you probably noticed, I mean, the IFA is sort of generous community that we're all willing to share our, secrets and how we do business. And at the end of the day, this is all about, growing and sharing together. And I'm looking forward for you to be part of this community now.
Absolutely. I'm extremely excited. And like you said, I'm thankful to everybody who has shared things with us, who has supported us or tried to help us. I mean, we're extremely grateful. And I hope you check us out at Delightry.com.
Nice. All right, Tushar, thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I'm here with Alex Close from Profit Keeper. Alex, how are you?
Doing well. How about yourself?
Awesome. So tell me, what brings you to the IFA this year?
Yeah, we're a supplier vendor and work with a lot of franchisors from emerging to large brands. So it's a good time to interact with current clients and meet new prospects.
Awesome. So there's other companies, obviously, that kind of do what you do. What makes you guys a little different?
Yeah, so we're a franchise-specific software. I think when you get behind the scenes on some of the development stuff, there's some features, but can't really throw all of them out there,
No, I totally understand. I mostly interview emerging franchise founders and people who are aspiring to get into franchising. So just from your experience of working with other franchisors, if there was somebody looking to franchise their concept, what would be maybe a piece of advice that you'd give somebody before they franchise their company?
I would say call Profit Keeper first. No, I'm only kidding. Before they franchise, I would do your due diligence. Franchising is a great model, but I would definitely do the due diligence because there's a lot of work on the front end, infrastructure to set yourself and your brand up for success.
Alex, thank you so much. Appreciate
Thanks
it.
for having me.
I am here with Glenn Langang from Oh Dear. Glenn, how are you?
Frank, I got to tell you, I'm doing phenomenal. We're here at the IFA. I get to meet great people like you, the founder of Onan, and now venturing off to do amazing things in our industry. This is what it's all about. People meeting people. Let's move the tide of the franchise industry. It's the greatest industry to work in. I believe that. And I love the fact that we're talking about generational wealth now. At the end of the day, it's so true. Our success, right, on the franchisors, their success is our success. And I think we need to take that a little more seriously. Let's build communities, and it's just such an honor to be here with you.
Oh, thanks, Glenn. So tell me, what is Oh Dear? What do you guys do?
So we are in the all-natural deer, tick, and mosquito repellent. All natural, okay? So our founder, and I want to, if I may, our founder, Kurt Upham, saw a need and met a need, okay? He found something that was all natural, did it all in his basement in Boston, okay? He was in the landscaping business, and his clients were like, you're putting in all of these beautiful plants, but the deer are coming to eat them. And so this is the type of gentleman, this guy. I mean, it's unbelievable. And he said, I'm going to solve this problem. But him and his wife, our co-owner, Colleen, she was pregnant with twins. So they wanted to do it the all-natural way because of they're having babies. And I'm so proud to be a part of this team. Here's why. We have 15 units, and We haven't even tried to grow it yet. Wow. It's all organic. They all knew Kurt. So we're in Boston and Virginia now, but we're coming to America.
This is your first IFA, right?
No, it's not.
Oh, it's not? I'm sorry. So what number is this for you?
I'm going to say 3.
3, okay.
I'm spitballing a little bit.
So what are you hoping to get out of this year's IFA?
Look, I always come into these things with this thought process. Well, selfishly for me, I have to find a franchise development marketing vendor here, so that's high on my priority list. But in IFA terms, I always come to learn, to grow, to be inspired, okay? The people here inspire me, and I hope that the team that's with me here are inspired as well. This is an industry that is unmatched. It's an honor to be a part of this industry. Frank, I'm on.
Oh gosh, Glenn. My pleasure. Thank you so much for being on, and I wish you continued success.
Frank, it's a pleasure, and I want to talk more about you with this.
All right.
We'll talk.
Thank you for tuning into the Emerging Franchise Brands podcast. For additional insights, guest applications, and to stay connected, visit us at efbpodcast.com. The Emerging Franchise Brands podcast is for entertainment purposes only, and the views expressed do not necessarily represent those of Emerging Franchise Brands, its host Frank Fiume, or Emerging Franchise Group LLC. Any discussed franchise or investment opportunity requires thorough investigation, obtaining proper disclosure documents, and expert consultation before making any investment decisions. The podcast and its host do not offer professional advice or endorsements, and they hold no responsibility for actions, representations, accuracy, or consequential damages related to the podcast content.